Thank you, sir.
Brigadier Dixit for paper 4. And now 87 participants are there. I'll transfer the host to Brigadier Dixit and he will take class on paper 4.
अरे तुम उसमें वो कर दो admit all.
Admit all कर दिया.
बस. Now it's okay.
Now later you have to do it.
Okay. अभी दिख रहे हैं सारे.
Now host is being transferred to you.
Thank you.
Now you can show your share screen and show your PowerPoint.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. God bless. Share a screen. Let me go to the right place. Have patience, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Okay. इसको minimize कर दें ये यहाँ से. Okay, can you hear me? Somebody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very well.
Perfect.
Very well, in fact.
Loud and clear, sir.
Perfect. Perfect. Let me organize myself a little. Okay. First, to start with, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce myself. I am Brigadier Akhil Dixit. I am son of Madhuri Dixit. My mother's name is Madhuri Dixit. And don't worry, she passed away in 1985. So it is only suddenly since Verma was recording, I have to be my sober self. To start with, I really don't like this class at all because I am an interactive man. I don't like talking to a blank screen. It's something like IPL being run, and when television they try to show too much of crowd. Piche se, later I realize it is background music being put by the channels. Otherwise, there is no one in the stadium. So that kind of thing. So whenever in between, if somebody wants to sleep, he is most welcome to switch off the video. But don't snore. If you snore, then kindly switch off your mic so that I don't get disturbed in my monologue. Now, there is no response. I hope somebody is listening to me.
We will make it a two-way communication, sir.
Perfect. And post-lunch session is always given to the people who are actually no one is interested in. So that is why post-lunch I have been told to go through the Herculean task of keeping everyone awake. Chalo, the first slide I would like to show. यार ये क्या है? आधा टाइम तो चलता नहीं है. इस स्लाइड ही नहीं चल रही है. Just a second, yeah. There's a glitch. I will waste my 40 minutes only doing this. Something went wrong.
Now it's visible, sir.
Yeah. To start with, this is my first slide.
Mask distance.
Social distancing, hand hygiene, and face masks.
This is very important. I thought I must put this as a first slide. So let's come to I don't know what has been told to you this morning, but basic, we will start with the basic. यार ये चलता ही नहीं है. हम जब क्लिक करते हैं अगली स्लाइड ही नहीं आती है.
Sir, press the right arrow on your laptop.
Yeah. Okay. To start with, first thing, I'm sure you people are aware of basics of it, cognitive and the experiential training. And Mr. Gupta must have already covered this. basically, I would prefer some interaction. Somebody should always mention something in case you know anything, and you're most welcome to interject in between. What is the difference between cognitive education and experiential education? I'm sure somebody can throw some light on it. Rupesh Rai, I can see you, so I can request you to. What is the difference?
Cognitive means is just to perceive. I mean, what is the things in the minds of the people, the minds of the person.
Basically, cognitive education is the style of education most of us are familiar with. It is the teachers. It is teacher-centric and it is brain-centric, where the basics are clarified. And experiential is more involving,
interacting.
And wherein a person experiences. Cognitive is, suppose I'm sorry, I'm from the army, so I'll give most of the examples from the army only. Like when you will see on a television or you see a weapon being fired.
Yeah.
So you basically learn that somebody has cocked a weapon and somebody has then aimed and then he's fired the weapon. But till the time you don't fire it yourself.
Yes.
And I will put in simple terms as cognitive is the part when you are watching how the weapon is being fired by somebody else. And experiential is when you experience when you hold the weapon, then your all faculties, all senses work, and in terms of your seeing the weight of the weapon, then where is the cocking handle, where is the aperture, how you take the aim, where all in the aim you have, and then you fire, and then the flight path of the bullet, and that way, that is the experiential part of it. So basic difference I wanted to tell you between the two of them. I'm sure Mr. Gupta is dealing with the cognitive part of it, which is more lecture and what we are doing is basically cognitive right now. So this is what is the very basic thing that we'll start with. Now, what is adult learning? And adults basic, I'm sure there's certain clarifications must have been given in previous class. One is the difference between pedagogy and ergogogy. I'm sure somebody can throw some light on it. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Somebody? Jitendra, can you say what is the pedagogy and ergogogy?
Notice, sir.
Hello? Manali? Okay, Manisha? Chalo, we'll come to that. Now, the adult learning basically starts right from 18 years of age onwards.
Yeah.
So it is not that there is any fixed age for that. I have just put a slide to tell you it can be 18, it can be 25, it can be 16. If you reverse the number, it can go right up to 81. It can be at any age. Basically, constantly we are learning. So nothing new. Based on experience, you learn not only in cognitive terms, you also learn by experience. And as you grow in service, as you grow in age, your experience becomes very vast. Still, you continue learning because there are new things evolving. Like in the adult, very old people, they are not very good at the computers, or they're not good at the laptops and smartphones with the younger lot is. Because they lack that cognitive learning at the appropriate time, and these things got introduced later. So that is why they have to learn it. So that's why the adult learning goes constantly throughout and more based on experience. There are certain things, there are theories which have been given by, there is a well-known gentleman, I like his name. If you see Malcolm Knowles, So he knows lesser than us in any case. He was an American educator well known for the use of the andragogy as synonymous to the adult education. And we'll come to it later. And adult learning theory, it's very famous. So we'll kindly go through this in your book, because possibly these small short notes come in the exams also. They ask some short notes where you people may have to be told to write all this. Okay. The difference between the two is that pedagogy is basically child-oriented, where spoon feeding is required, and where it is mainly the learner-oriented. The learner has to be taught. It is spoon feeding. Whereas andragogy is adult-oriented, means the teacher himself is to basically the learner himself has to learn. Like in this case, right now, I can see some people. They suppose I'm taking a lecture and somebody doesn't want to learn. Suppose he knows a particular field. He will switch off mentally. So adults basically what they want to learn, they want to imbibe. They focus on that. Whereas in case of a child, it is you have to spoon feed him. That is the every basic concepts have to be clarified to them. That is why in pedagogy you have lectures, you have you start from alphabets, you start from concepts which you try to inculcate, and thereafter you make him do the experience by which he learns. Whereas in case of adults, since they already have experience and they feel the relevance, they go by the relevance. Whatever be the relevance, only that they want to learn, and others they automatically reject. So they can't be forced to learn. And that is the basic difference. It's given in the book, your book also, you must see it. Sorry, my time ki dekhta ja raha hu. I should not overshoot. The art and science of teaching children is called pedagogy. And andragogy is the art and science of helping adults to learn. And this term was introduced in 1968 by the same gentleman I was talking of.
Sure.
There are certain principles of learning. Just a second. There is this should be, okay. Now it is clearer. There was some obstruction coming. Now the principles of adult education are as given on the slide. They are very self-explanatory, 7 of them. Adults must want to learn. They can't be forced to learn. Mere fact that 35 or I don't know how many number of you are here right now is because you wanted to attend. I'm sure it must have started with a larger number and many of them must have dropped out because they must have decided that possibly this I need not learn about this aspect since I'm already aware of, or they would have lost interest. So basically adults learn when they feel like learning. They can't be forced to learn. And adults learn only what they feel they need to learn. Basically, they go by the relevance. If it is not relevant to them, they will not learn it at all. And they prefer learning by doing things like, that is what is the class, that is the experiential learning. They would like to do themselves. In fact, in the corporate world, most of the teaching, I'm sure many of you must be aspiring to teach or take classes and in terms of corporate training. So basically, what is relevant, you have to identify what all is relevant to them, and that only, focus on that only. Otherwise, many are things sometimes in the corporate training, you start right from the basics, which a person is not interested in, so he switches off. He doesn't really want to learn it anymore. I'll keep giving examples of the army. You see, when you join the army, you are a very raw, basic civil gentleman. I come from the biology science background. When I joined the academy, I was absolutely raw man. So initially in cognitive learning, they teach you very basic concepts and things like, and subsequently they make you do handle weapons and do smaller tactics. And thereafter they take you out and then thereafter give you experience in terms of mock drills, or you can call it a war game or kind of an exercise. And thereafter they put you in the real life situation. When you are fit enough to take the basic exercises, then only you are commissioned and you become an officer, and then you go for the operational tasks, the field. The field is ideal training ground has been Kashmir and in the Northeast, where we get trained in actual warfare. So these are the stages through which the army trains you. Directly, no one is put in the battle field, so that lack of experience or lack of basic knowledge, he doesn't create a fiasco. So people like to learn by doing things themselves. Adult learning focuses on problems, and the problem must be realistic. The moment you have an artificially simulated problem which does in real life possibly a man will not come across, then the adult generally switch off.
Sir, sorry to bother. There's people waiting to attend the session.
Okay.
Sorry to break
in.
in between.
Don't worry. Waiting in the room. How do I add them? Admit all. Okay. Is it okay now? Everyone has joined?
Yeah, almost 40 people joined.
Okay. Problems must be realistic. Experience affects adults' learning. Now, suppose somebody has got a negative experience, and you talk of something which, again waiting, somebody has come in the waiting, admit. Okay. And now, sorry, the whole thought process gets, problem must be realistic, experience affects. Suppose if you have a positive experience in a particular field and it is told to you, you will always see it with a positive bent of mind. But somebody who's had a bad experience and thereafter the same thing is being taught to him, he will switch off or he'll try to avoid it or evade it. Case in point, I'll tell you a very simple, I'll always give a simple example. Somebody who's got electrocuted in childhood or teenage, this thing. To try to teach him something about the, you want to teach him something about electricity or handling of the equipment, he will always be scared. Because he has had a very negative kind of effect, and that he is evasive. He would like to avoid that particular subject every time. Okay. Adults learn best in informal situations. Mr. Verma told me that he'll record everything, so I have to restrain myself. Otherwise, adults prefer to have a very relaxed atmosphere, interactive atmosphere, where they don't want to be disciplined. They don't want to be put like robots, like in a school where you have. That's the difference which you see when you go from a school to a college. You see a difference. It is a very relaxed atmosphere in the college, because even the system understands that the adults are more adaptive in case they are kept in a relaxed atmosphere to function, and then only all faculties work much better. So whenever you have to take a class in a corporate environment, please have a very relaxed environment. Please ensure that the people who come and who attend, they don't feel intimidated by your. I can tell you, in Bombay, I attended a particular institution. I was attending a particular lecture. I just started seeing for a while my telephone, my mobile. The gentleman felt irritated. He told me to don't in my class, don't touch the phone and something like that. And two of us were trying to pass something. It was because we had some event coming the same day. Now thereafter, we all got switched off because we all felt so intimidated by his reactions. Thereafter, everyone switched off and there was no response. And thereafter, when the whole thing got over, we were only being critical, and our entire focus was to avoid his his conduct should not get distorted, and suddenly he should not start misbehaving with us. For entire 1 hour period, we were only evading him, and that became the entire the exercise of the whole class. So it became non-productive class. I'm just giving an example for this thing. And adults want guidance. They don't want to be spoon-fed. They don't want to be told that aap ye kariye, ye na kariye. They prefer to be told whatever you say. They will, whatever they feel like, they'll absorb it and they'll leave it otherwise. Sorry, gentlemen, this is the first class I get stuck with. This slide doesn't move. I don't know what to do. फिर से तो हैंग कर गई है. Okay. Basically, it is a summary. Adults are autonomous and self-directed. Adults are goal-oriented. They see anything which is relevant to them, they will learn, otherwise they'll not learn. They are practical people and need to be shown respect. Nothing much to talk in this. Okay. These are the motivating factors which make the adults learn. One is that external expectations. They don't want, you must have come across in your offices or in your colleagues and many places, some people who are so blissfully ignorant or dumb that they become an embarrassment. And many a times you don't want to be seen like them, so you want to improve your knowledge bank, so that you are because environment expects you to be educated, environment expects you to be learned man, and that is why you want to improve your knowledge bank. Then other is the personal advancement, self-explanatory. Everyone wants to advance in career, in terms of life, in terms of better job or promotions and things like. Obviously, that is also one of the motivating factors to do better. Cognitive interest is basically, many people cognitive interest is basically inquisitiveness. People want to improve their knowledge bank for no reason at all. They would like to know how the particular thing works, or how why it works, and irrespective whether they'll apply it in their personal progression or not. But they would like to improve their knowledge bank, and that is the cognitive interest. Case in point, I have just in my house, I have made a ultraviolet light that sanitizing box. Let me tell you, it hardly cost me 500 rupees, whereas on Amazon they are selling it for 4,000, 3,000, all kinds of stuff. Basically, it needs nothing. It only needs a step down stabilizer, bring down to 12 volt, and you need a ultraviolet tube to be put in a box with a reflector foil inside, and thereafter it works as a sanitizing equipment. So I found it very, I was inquisitive how it functions, and I just read about it, and then I made it on my own at home. It costed me not even 500 rupees. So it is basically, it has only in inquisitiveness because of which I did it. Otherwise, there was no need. Many of people, especially you'll find people with a little science background, they have this inquisitiveness inbuilt into them, and they try to always improve. PhD scholars also, they improve their knowledge bank. Is a complex problem, so they make it in small problems, and thereafter improve their knowledge bank and then write their thesis or dissertation. This is the methodology they also utilize. And many people do it for social welfare, to impart knowledge to others. It is people who are working for NGOs and things like, they want to learn basically to impart that knowledge to others so that it gives them a satisfaction. And that is also one of the reasons for learning. The classification of training methods is as given on the slide. We will deal with them, few of them today, and subsequently in subsequent classes we'll be talking about it. The first one is on-the-job method. There is obviously certain, if there is on the job, then there are certain of them who are off the job also. Then simulations, knowledge-based methods, skill-based methods, and there are experiential also. Let's first come to the difference between on-the-job methods and off-the-job. On-the-job, obviously, you can see job, few things in this: job rotation, guidance, counseling, syndicate groups, and all. We will come to it when we take later classes. These are the important methods which are utilized. They all are self-explanatory. Lectures is the one which we are indulging right now. Since it is becoming a monologue from my side, may I request somebody to speak something, because otherwise I find it, I'm not able to see whether people are listening to me or not.
Yes, we are listening, sir.
Yes, sir, we are listening.
Okay, good. The lecture is a very basic thing which you all are well aware of, so nothing much to elaborate on. Case studies also, can anyone explain case study? Meena, can you claim, do you have any, your mic is switched off. Okay.
So case study is basically, there is a scenario which any new employer, and he can explore that and explain the case in a real scenario. It is a hypothetical scenarios or case actually given to the candidate.
Generally, okay, good. Generally, case studies are based on real life situations. Case studies are written by people who have gone through a certain experience and they have seen in the real life, and thereafter they formulate it into in a storytelling, and that story is, and thereafter what all actions were taken by the actors in that case study, and that is analyzed, and why a certain individual reacted in certain manner and how it could have been handled better. So basically all case studies, they can't be made into a story out of the blue. Then it will not be a realistic study. When in adult education, main aspect is that people want real-time realistic stories. And realistic stories can only be made out of real events or real situations which day-to-day functioning in the corporate world people come across, or leaders come, or managers come across, and those are converted into the papers on which are analyzed. That is what the case study is. Group discussion, many of you must have gone through. Pradeep, can you explain what is group discussion?
Sure. So this is more about enhancing the experiential learning, where you assign something or invite group or or like a team to discuss about something that might be related to training or any subject?
Perfect. Somebody else also who can add some light, throw some light on it.
The specific topic has been taken over which different people discuss and debate. So different point of views being coming up with different individuals. So we see a same thing with the different mindsets that how they are thinking and discussing over it.
Exactly, because in a group, everyone has got a different experience, different background, different environment in which he's working. And suppose there are 4 people and different companies, when they get together and there's a group discussions, their entire reactions are based on their experiences, and then it enriches the entire group. That is the other method of doing it. Incident process. हाँ भाई रुपेश, तुमने माइक बंद कर दिया यार।
नहीं सर, ओपन
है।
ऑन है, ऑन माइक।
अच्छा चलो, मनाली, can you say what is incident process?
Sir, I may be wrong. I am not very sure about it. But what I am.
No, Manali, I'm sorry. I don't have to bother. Whatever may be wrong, nothing. Whatever comes to your mind, go by the term. It is very simple term, and
yes, sir.
You
so,
can.
Sir, so incident process is what I am inferring is that through incidents what we are learning. Maybe sometimes it happens that during these sessions also. So what our takeaways is with the incidents that learning can happen.
Okay. Somebody else can add something?
Just thinking if this is related to, what is happening around you. So maybe like, this is not a direct learning, maybe indirect learning. So now we were not aware about what this pending situation is, but we are all learning something out of this. So maybe like something related to that on that side.
Okay. Any incidents are prepared on basis of actual situation which happened in different organizations.
So it's just like we, sir, just sorry to interrupt, sir. Sometimes mock drills which we go through, that is the incident process types of mock drills actually.
Sorry, say again.
Mock drills, sir, fire mock drills and earthquake mock drills have.
Yes,
people get trained is basically related to incident process.
Yes, it's a good example you've given. Basically, you simulate. This is also a simulation.
Simulation.
It is actually, dekho, what this teaching is nothing. It is basically jargon of words, and if you can interpret it correctly in any incident which gives you some experience in any organization, each employee in training group is asked to make a decision based on a real life situation. Suppose some accident has taken place on the floor where in the company. Now the reactions to that is described. It is quite akin to case study, I would say. Okay, Rupesh, every time you've been hoodwinking a question, now I would request you to tell me what is role play.
Role play is to understand the others' point of view actually.
Okay.
So it is like enacting the particular.
Whoever speaks kindly, अपना नाम जरूर बताओ भाई.
Can Jiten here?
हाँ चलो अच्छा हाँ चलो भाई जितेन.
Role play is kind of skill practice.
Okay. Why it is called role play?
Sir, Priyanka. Sir,
Priyanka.
role play is basically, again, it is a simulation activity wherein we are enacting some situation or wherein we are playing the role of, wherein we are enacting basically a real life situation into a session. So that is basically the role plays. So enactment of some realistic situation, you can say.
Yes, okay. Or anyone else who would like to explain it?
Sir, this is Sonakshi.
Yeah, Sonakshi.
So, sir, just to add to the previous one, like role play is enactment in which we basically a small activity is enacted just to understand that what are the pros and cons, like we mentioned, what can go wrong and what can be corrected, and a situation is taken and enacted in a role play, just
Okay.
to have a better understanding.
Good.
Hi. Hi,
Role
this
play,
is
sir.
Pradeep.
Yeah, continue, please.
Yeah, continue. Whoever, somebody said hi.
Yeah, hi, this is Pradeep. So
hi, Pradeep.
One more thing, like this is more of an active participation, and you basically live that training or that learning in actual scenario by playing or by being part of that. So suppose if you will experience something between CEOs or MDs, then in a role play you will experience that, how a MD can react or a CEO can react in a situation like that. So it's all about grasping and understanding that scenario in a in a kind of a in a experiential exercise, you can say.
I wish we were together in face to face. We would have made some exercises, would have done some exercises on ground.
The role play.
Okay. Somebody else was
Role play
saying.
is a journey from subjective mind to objective mind, you can say, to understand the actual incident or problems.
Okay, I'll cut it short. Role play is basically when two or more people sit together and they interact in a manner where they have been given a certain type of assignment or appointment. And they are supposed to react or enact the play where the thing as per what appointment has been assigned to them.
Yeah.
Suppose I have been told that I am a union leader, and you have been told that you are the manager, and union leader is a troubleshooter who's trying to create a problem with the labor. He is instigating the labor. And when you are dealing with him, because he says the bonus must be given, it should be doubled before Diwali. Now, when you interact, this is an enactment being done wherein I am rebelling and you are trying to handle me in a manner to convince me that what all can be done to diffuse the situation so that the production line does not stop. I'm just giving you a simple example. Now, when these people are playing a role, one role is I'm playing of a union leader, you are playing as the floor manager, supervisor, whoever, who has been told by the management to deal with me and sort it out. Now, when you are sorting out, the situation can go out of hand, situation can be diffused by you. Now, to improve your skills of handling the union leader, how to handle that type of training is inculcated by role play. Suppose you are arrogant man. You deal with a union leader in a very arrogant manner. You will ensure that he doesn't deal with you anymore and he becomes more aggressive in his demands. Don't stoop down to a level where he starts dominating you to get his things done. Whatever parameters the management has decided to be negotiated with him, that should be. Sorry? Hello?
I guess so that's my mistake.
Okay, perfect. So sorry, the thought process गड़बड़ हो जाता है यार. ये जब आपको ट्रेनिंग दी जा रही है how to handle with certain people, these type of role play exercises are done to basically middle level and lower level managers to be trained how to deal with their subordinates. There can be a case somebody's wife is in the hospital or delivery due or some parents are unwell and he's asking for you leave, and at the same time you are not in a position because your production line is required to meet a particular target which has to be achieved by next 72 hours and he wants to go on leave immediately. Now then there is a negotiation which you are doing and his emotions have to be handled and you want that you have to evaluate whether what is important. He must go attend the family and then come back, or I can find an alternative. So these are the training aspects which are required to be taught to the managers of lower level and middle level, which for that role play is very important. Case in point, I'll give you an example of the army. Within the army, you see, we have been dealing with troops, and you go, it's a battle is a very different thing. I have been in counterinsurgency operations in Kashmir. You see, a soldier is being told to go and interact and deal with the terrorists in a particular house. He knows that fellow can fire on you, but that fellow still goes and interacts with the terrorists. Many a times you interact with the terrorist to negotiate for him to surrender. We all have done it. Somebody is saying, I don't know what it is. A lot of people trying to send message. Can you send FADLNRA certified? What is this? I don't know. Anyway, many a time we have to deal and negotiate with them. So those skills are taught to the junior commanders in the army. These skills are inculcated by conduct of various role plays on small level exercises. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, somebody Tripti Pamar, I have a lot to share for very around 100, but I don't know. I can't make out what is somebody trying to say. Or inadvertently somebody has put it here. Hello, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So this is what role play is, and we'll come to it later. When we talk of it later when in next some classes. What is management games? हाँ भाई, अभी तो एकदम सडनली सब क्वाइट हो गए लंच के बाद. मैनेजमेंट गेम क्या है? सोनाक्षी ने माइक ही बंद कर दिया अपना.
Management games can be that we organize these activities through which it's like more of a game, but we derive out a learning from it.
Okay, what is the game? Give example.
Sir, like once I remember that we had an agile and scrum training. So one of the trainers, what they did, she organized a game activity in which we had to write contradictory questions for the scrum master.
Okay.
And the scrum master did not know who it wrote, and he had to react to those contradictory questions. So this is a situation given that how a scrum master should actually react, if somebody conflicts or contradict in a meeting.
Perfect. In fact, बहुत basic जो difference है, the business games or management games, they are referred to the training method for the managers. This form of training is based on artificial environment. What is important is that the environment that is simulated, that simulates a real situation in the management of an organization, whether in planning, decision making, control, or communication. And a very subtle difference is, I think the case studies are real situations, whereas management games are basically artificially created into basically to train people so that they learn certain skills, how to handle such situations later. Okay, what is in basket exercise? These are terms which are very, very easy otherwise. Sorry, हमने एक ही स्लाइड पे सारे डाल दिए as it is. आधी स्लाइड तो चलती नहीं, बड़ी मुश्किल से चलती.
This is Shishir here.
Yeah, Shishir.
So as far as I understand, the in-basket exercise is kind of a prioritization exercise where one is expected to, prioritize a set of activities given together. It could be on the basis of, for example, important decisions, important activities, things like that.
Basically, you give certain situations in jumbled manner to a manager and expect him to sort them out in a systematic manner and prioritize them which situation needs to be handled first.
Yep. Yes.
Suppose there are 4 situations, then he should not panic. 4 situations which have come together. Again, I'm sorry, I'll give my based on personal examples only. You see, I really admire the Army's selection system, that is Service Selection Board. I remember they gave me an exercise. There was a sand model, जैसे जन्माष्टमी में बनाते हैं, the sand model kind of a place, and they said कि there is a bank being looted, there is a rape taking place in some place, then there is a building which is on fire, and they made 3-4 situations in a township. And then they told me that you have these resources, you prioritize how will you react and where all will you go, and which is the priority you will give, what will be the priority. So these were the situations given to us in the Service Selection Board. Basically, one has to prioritize in terms of human life. I remember that I'm talking of my own SSB selection board. So where I first talked of human life saving, where the people inside and the building was on fire, and then the rape, and then I talked of the bank and things like that. I'm just giving you an example. So managers at various levels, when they are overwhelmed with too many things taking place together, they are expected to prioritize, and because they can't do everything, they can't be omnipresent, they can't do everything simultaneously. So then they have to prioritize. You people do it. It's a normal day-to-day life. Students do it. When they prepare for the exams, they decide कि यार पहले मैं ये पढ़ूंगा, इसको इतने दिन पढ़ूंगा, इसको sort out करके, then I will revise on so and so. That is what the in-basket exercise is. And we'll come to it later again. And चलो अब जल्दी करते हैं conference method. हाँ भाई, अब हमें तो इसमें 4 ही नाम दिख रहे हैं, बाकी सब गायब हो गए हैं यार. मुझे जरा पूरा क्लस्टर खोलना पड़ेगा. हाँ, खोला अभी. Some people feeling threatened now. हैं? राहुल, केपी राहुल. राहुल साहब सो रहे हो? गुड नाइट. अतुल, हाँ अतुल, हैं? राहुल
Pratik this side, sir.
अच्छा चलो प्रतीक. हाँ.
So conference method is the method wherein the student and faculty work closely together and they learn.
लोग
Somebody is cross-talking.
Please be on a mute mode, others.
अरे माइक म्यूट कर लो भाई. Okay. Sorry, Pratik, you can continue. Hello. Chalo, conference, hardly anything. Everyone sits together. It does a.
Yes, sir. So it's a method wherein everyone sits together and share their ideas.
Basically, brainstorming session. Come to a solution. Seminar. What is the difference between conference method and seminar?
Seminar is one-way communication. And conference is both ways, 2 ways.
Conference is always communication. Seminar is one-way communication where people come give a presentation and thereafter a discussion takes place on that.
Yeah, they are the experts in that particular,
they come prepared
area.
Yes. And seminar might be like good for showcasing something. One-way presentation, as somebody said rightly, but this is more about showcasing something, presenting something.
Okay. The only thing is my seminar is not taking place. The slide is again.
Sir, I'm not clear with in-basket exercise.
In basket. Okay. Suppose you go to the office. You are sitting in the office and possibly as you get exposed further, you will realize that in-basket exercise is You go to the office, your in tray, out tray, and pending. There are 3 trays. Since I have been a senior level officer in the army, so I can tell you. Now, in tray has got about 10 files lying. Now, you are supposed to clear all those files. Sorry?
Mr. Atul, your mic is on.
Sorry, my daughter is here.
Don't worry, don't
All
worry.
possible.
Don't.
Please switch off the mic.
That's all right. They, चलो इन baskets पे आ जाएंगे. कहाँ गए? Who asked the question?
Shreya.
Okay. Basically, suppose there are 10 files in your in tray. You see, you can't be doing justice with all the files together, because it requires, you need to study a file, you need to study what all is the aspects to be analyzed before you take a decision on a file. Now then you, out of those 10 files, you prioritize which has an emergent requirement to be sorted out first. First you examine all 10 files, then you prioritize them in a sequence. Ki I will first deal with this, then second I'll deal with this, and then thereafter you analyze each file. And as you suppose some file, somebody, how do I tell you? Somebody has to go on leave today on evening, whereas his file is lying on the 8th place in the entire bundle of files. He cannot go on leave till the time you don't clear that file. Then you have to prioritize after examining all 10 of them. You say, okay, this is priority. He has to go. His wife is, or his family is unwell or whatever. You immediately take a decision whether he should go on leave or not on leave, and you approve it, and then it goes that way. And some things which have to take place after 3 days, that can go into lower priority. So this prioritization aspect is basically a decision-making process, more valid for lower level managers or middle level managers. Higher level managers are basically strategic or conceptual decision-making. These are to day-to-day dealings. For that, in basket, basically, what is there in your basket and how you prioritize it. That is the concept of in basket. Does it make sense to you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay. Now, other important aspect is, gentlemen, is sensitivity training. This is a very important aspect. Can somebody throw light on it? I'm sorry, I deliberately, since it is post-lunch, I have to ask more questions. Otherwise, half the people will sleep off.
So, POSH is related to sensitivity training, kya? Meena this side?
Yeah, Meena?
So, POSH is basically connected to sensitivity.
Yes, you are right. It is not only that. There are various aspects. POSH is only one of them. Throw some light since you have come to that. POSH is only one aspect.
So, I just come to that conclusion because it is written over the sensitivity, and I just gone through with some POSH sessions. So that's why, and some value sessions we do. Maybe that is also the part of the sensitivity training, because I do value sessions for the company.
Okay, you elaborate on that because it will benefit others also.
So value session. So we have some values in the company. I'm from the insurance sector and into sales training. So customers and collaborations and customer centricity, collaborations and integrity part of sessions we do for our employees. So that the employees जो हैं सर वो फिर they follow that values, so that companies image and the work style will continue. So,
okay.
And the second part is the POSH we do for the women harassment committee we have over there. So if something is happen, some cases happen with some females, basically for the females employees only. So is there some case, sexual harassment case over there? Prevention of sexual harassment committee we have, and I'm the part of it. So we do that if some cases happen. So we do some coaching and with that employee and solve these issues also.
Okay, okay. It is, I just want to tell you, it is not only, of course, this is the most important factor why this has become a very important training. It has got various connotations. It has got sensitivity in terms of caste, in terms of religion, in terms of dealing with the women, in terms of what is strata of society, and not only that, in terms of behavior, social behavior. All these aspects of encompass sensitivity training. So POSH is only one part of it, which is the most important component, which is the important part of it, but there are various facets. Some people are, they talk very roughly, they don't understand the environment. Again, some people basically cut jokes on some caste or some religion, or because which may cause some kind of sensitivity to the people, other people who are listening to them. So these type of things are also very important in sensitivity.
So that comes, I think, in code of conduct also is the part of that then?
Yes, yes, yes. But you see, the people, when anyone joins a particular company, people come from all strata and all family backgrounds and all social cultures. So when they come on a common platform, they have to be brought into a certain environment of that particular corporate organization, which they are supposed to follow as a norm. Again, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, since I belong to the army, my mind only focuses on that. It goes towards that only. I must tell you, I take pride in saying that this army when you join the army, basically there is nothing which is religious about it, nothing about the caste. This is the only organization, there is nothing. We don't talk of religion, caste, and any of these things. And it is truly secular in implementation within the system also. And I've commanded Gurkhas. There was a Brigadier Rahman. He used to come and do Aarti in Mandir, and he used to keep 10 Dinka fast on Dashera. And similarly, people who join Grenadiers, where there are Muslim companies, where people keep Rosa. So that way, it's a very cohesive type of organization, army. And there is no kind of reservation of any nature, no caste factor. The entire focus is toward, it's a culture. And anyone who joins I've seen within a very short span, he gets wedded to the culture, and that becomes his second nature. So that is the one good part of my organization, where I've served 35 years. It has got a very nice fabric, which I'm afraid there are various other government organizations like policing and things like, which they still need to inculcate that and learn that. It may take a little years. Sorry, I digressed from that, but it is very important. Sensitivity training is a very important factor.
So,
sorry, yes.
Sir, I in one of my company, I was just attached to only the defense employees only. We visited to some camps. So I was a part of that camps also. I visited Jabalpur camp, Meerut and Roti camp also, and I've seen the atmosphere and the culture of that camp. So really, it's very pleasure experience I have.
I wouldn't say better. I would say it is different. In a humble manner, I would say it is different. Yes, thank you. Very different. Now let's talk of outbound training. What is outbound training? Very interesting.
Sir, outbound is organized.
Rupesh, sir, naam bata do. There are large number of people who must be.
Sir, Rupesh.
Rupesh, good. I'm so happy.
So, like river rafting, tracking, these are the kind of training, outbound trainings are done in corporates.
What do you achieve by doing that?
It's a team building exercise, you can say.
It is not only team building, it is confidence building also.
Confidence building also, yes.
Adventure training is basically, it adds to your I can do it. I'm able to do it. I'll be able to do it. That kind of and yes, they give you certain exercises which can be done individually. There's some exercises which make you do which you can only pass if you are doing it as a team.
Yeah, right, sir.
You see, suppose there is an obstacle. You may not be able to cross it alone. You may be a group of 4 or 5 people who cross, so that in that you can easily identify people who become selfish. I, me, myself, very self-centered lot. And some people who actually, they know that they can't function without a team. So the whole team has to be carried together. Then only they'll be able to clear that obstacle. So these type of inculcating these spirits only, these are done in the what you call outbound training. And it is slightly more expensive because the company has to put in a lot of money in, because you take everyone out to a place. It's a very common phenomenon from Gurgaon, taking people to Rishikesh for river rafting and things like. Some people are taken to Goa where they do parasailing and paragliding and all kinds of stuff. And connected to this, since I would again like to give example of the army is, when they do a selection in service selection board, they give you individual exercises. They give you also such obstacles. You must have seen in Bhopal or Allahabad, they have, and in Bangalore also, they have there's obstacle system outside, which looks very amusing from the roadside. Basically, they are the obstacle system where you have to do those exercises, and they try to identify you what traits you have, which the army needs, and if they find that your traits are not of going with the team, then possibly you lose some points in that. Okay, next is the computer-based training. Nothing in it. Do we need to talk on this?
No, sir, it's self-explanatory.
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 Satellite-based.
I think this is also clear. This is Pradeep. I'm just giving you one reference. Maybe I don't know whether this is right or wrong, but I have seen that IGNU, launch many programs, many training programs which are aired on Doordarshan.
No, why? You see, why say right or wrong? You are right. Everyone is right. Everyone is based on his own perception. We are indulging in experiential training and adult training, so you don't have to hesitate at all.
Got it.
Yes.
So yeah, so
you are right.
Example which I was giving is like, the IGNU, which is basically providing affordable education to all, and they launch their programs on with the help of satellite through Gyan Darshan.
Basically, it is distant learning, and in terms of real time classes, ये हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? This is also, if not satellite training, it is computer training, or it is internet training, whatever you can call it, web training. Now, what is field trip?
Sir, OJT, on-the-job training.
No. Field trip is different than on-the-job training. हाँ भाई, बताओ भाई. आदित्य, मोमिता सरकार, मोमिता. हाँ, बोलो भाई.
So field trip, basically, I think it's more of a kind of excursion trip, which is usually where the employees or even the students are taken to experience certain things about maybe certain different topics, or it could be kind of a more of a casual kind of a trip when more of a team bonding is developed.
It is not only for team bonding, which was because theoretically you tell somebody that Tata Cars, Tata Motors is in Pune, and where in factory cars are assembled like this, their robot does like this, and how it is the cars are assembled, or Maruti Udyog mein how the cars are made. But when you carry that team and take it to the Tata Motors or to the Maruti Udyog to see in real time, that is basically the field trip.
It's an education trip.
Yes, sir, it's a kind of education.
It is like that. Abhi, somebody was saying that she has visited Jabalpur and all the cants.
Right, sir. Meena this side, sir. I have visited.
Meena, it is something like that. It's a field trip when you get real-time experience of a particular thing. We all have been hearing about China border in Ladakh, but some journalists have gone there to go get the feel of it, and where they go and see it themselves, the situation, and then they bolo Momita. You want
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. So, field trip, I'm working with Aditya Birla Chemicals. So, field trip for our sales team, what we organized is we take our sales force to the manufacturing units. We make them understand the entire production process, the nitty-gritties of it, the technicalities, so that when they do a sales pitch, they understand how the product is being manufactured, and that will help them to sell the specifications easily and brief the production processes to the customers.
Yeah.
So that
yeah.
we brief as field trip.
That is a field.
Right.
And
Thank you.
There's a medical representatives who sell pharmaceutical company chaps. Hello.
Somebody is again on unmute mode.
That's all. That's all right. These are hazards of the system. We have to live with it. Now, in pharmaceutical companies, the medical reps are taken to in Bombay. They are trained. First of all, there are lectures conducted. There are theories, there are films, and thereafter they are taken to their plants where these injections and various tablets, how they are made. And what he is saying is very right. That is what thereafter when they talk to the doctors, they are able to explain things better. And that is why your production line has to be known to you, then only you will be confident enough to do it. May I request somebody to switch off the mic in case it is disturbed?
I think being a host, Akhil sir, you can do that.
Because you see, I am unable to see so many of them together.
I think there's a common button kind of thing, because being a host, this facility is always with you that you can mute all.
You can mute everybody, sir.
Yeah. Achha. Sorry, this is my first class, so I get a little. ये तो हमारे ही माइक हो जाएगा. हम अपना ना म्यूट कर दें कहीं गलती से. चलने दो ठीक है.
तो फिर आप अपनी म्यूट कर लीजिएगा.
Okay. Now, this is a comparative study of types of training on the job and off the job. It's just to give you.
So, Prerna Desai, so I have a question.
Yeah.
So it's regarding like on the field job. Like last year, during my MT period, I went to understand what my work is to be done. So we were taken to Nainital for 2-day visit. So is it a on job or it will be a field trip training?
I have not understood why. नैनीताल तो किस लिए गई थी? एडवेंचर ट्रेनिंग के लिए गई थी? किस लिए? आउटबाउंड ट्रेनिंग के लिए?
Sir, no, sir, we were taken there to understand the local market. Every region has every region was supposed to go there.
I would put it in the on-the-job training. If you have been sent to there to see the local market and understand how the market functions in Nainital, then it is on-the-job training basically, because you are focused in that particular market, and you familiarize you with the environment in which you are supposed to be marketing your product or whatever. That's what I feel. I don't know, because normally to Nainital log jate hain for adventure training. Nainital, Rishikesh and Goa. तो तुम्हारा मार्केट एरिया तो बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. नैनीताल की मार्केट ढूंढ रही हो. Is it you got something to do with hotel management or something? Is it?
No, sir. I am currently working in Mahindra Finance as an assistant manager.
Okay.
So, sir, we were asked to go there to understand the market. So I was confused that is it a field training? We went there to understand the market, to how we can captify the that kind of market. ruler
Field
or
training,
senior to enter those?
field trip is a different thing and field training is different. You see, field training is field trip is basically to familiarize with the particular field. It will be it is a field trip, but it is not. It is on the job training for you. I feel. I don't know. This is what I feel. It is on the job training because field trip is a totally different thing. Field trip is going for production line say visit or in your case it can also be a recce of the area market which you are supposed to be interacting with later. That's what I feel. I can't really term it in what it can be in field trip, it can be on the job also. हमें तो भाई on the job लगता है.
On the job, it's look like on the job.
On the job. Now see the types of training, which is this is the comparative of the job training and on the job training. I would request you to go through this because sometimes they ask short notes on it, so you should generally have the idea. On the job training ke liye, basically you don't need any special facilities because you are doing a job and on the job only you are learning. And there are some, there may be mentors with you who go along with you, may or may not be. And while doing your job, you learn. Normally, the lesser risk quality factors are products are given to you to market initially in case you are in marketing or sales. And it also gives you a real life situation and not simulated. It's a real life situation. Again, I'll give you a comparison in the army. On the job training, we really get on the job training when we go to Kashmir Valley. When we deal with Pakistan and or when we deal with terrorists, it basically, you learn on the job various things. Like my first experience of firing, वैसे तो one had done a lot of firing and battle inoculation. Whereas first experience with firing on the Pakistan border was a very, very different experience. Thereafter, you get trained and you mentally get trained. Basically, it is very, very important to go through on-the-job training because your faculties become hardened. They become tuned to dealing with a situation. My first experience, I very vividly remember of 1984, which was a little scary. Suddenly, out of the blue, they start firing at you 11 o'clock at night. And the old experienced JCO of mine was my savior. He really came and I was a young captain and he tried to tell me, Saab, abhi we will do nothing. We'll deal with them in the morning, and we dealt with them. I won't like to go into details, but we gave a requisite punishment with some 3 fatalities the next morning, and we had no accidents on this side. So, but it was an experience, first experience, which was a little weird. Thereafter, one had many experiences where one had got so used to the system that it did not cause any panic or anything. Sorry, मैं example हमेशा army से देता हूँ.
So can I add one example, Meena?
Yeah, Meena.
So we do OGTs also, as I am into the sales training. So whenever some new employee joined after the inductions, when he joined to the particular location which he or she mapped, then the map trainer actually will take through the actual scenarios. We because we into the life insurance industry, so selling of insurance products and recruiting agents is a part of that manager. So the person schedule the appointments, and we go and tell them on the field and showcase them how they will do that calls and how they can close that calls. That is basically we do on the job training sessions.
Yeah. And in I can tell you in medical fraternity, medical representatives when newly inducted after the training capsule they've gone through for 1 month and have been on field trip and everything. Thereafter, where they get posted, their regional manager escorts them when they go to meet the doctors, they are encouraged to interact with the doctor, talk to him. At the same time, their field manager is along with them. Should they falter anywhere, and he interjects so that there's no to do the damage control, and that way they learn how to deal with various doctors. They come across some of them who are very arrogant, some are very decent. So all kinds of experiences are given, and where their regional manager or branch manager goes along with them. Similar type of example I thought.
So basically, it's a hand holding of a new
Hand
person.
holding. You're right. You're right. Okay. Productive for the department, because simultaneously some business is also being done. A trainer can establish work relationship with the clients. Learning can be controlled. He should not go overboard, or he should not cause any damage to the system, whereas you lose a particular client. Sorry, I'm trying to rush a little. Number of the job costs incurred. No, off the job cost incurred. Okay, basically off the job जो training होती है, it costs money, whereas on the job training doesn't cost much of money because the job is still being carried out. No transferability of training is required. Self-explanatory. Now come to the off-the-job training. This is the most expensive part, because you are taking out an employee from his day-to-day functioning and putting him in isolation exclusively for training. Obviously, you are paying him, but at the same time, you're not taking work out of him, and you are improving his skills to be utilized. So obviously, it costs a lot of money for the company. So it is a more expensive exercise to conduct off-the-job training. And that is exactly what you people are aspiring to do in terms of basically in years to come. And that is what you are trying to improve your skills so that you can go and utilize it in corporate training. Trainees' specific difficulties are easier to explore in this case, whereas on the job it is not possible to do that. It has a relaxed atmosphere because nothing is in subconscious of the trainee, who is not thinking कि मुझे कोई target achieve करना है, things like. So he is quite relaxed in terms of. Many of you, I don't know how many of you have been have come on your own, and how many of you have been sent by your companies. It all depends on that. Many of people who have been sent by the companies, the expenses are being incurred by the company to get you trained and improve your skills, which you can utilize in the company when you get back there. Okay. One important thing is easier to get full attention of the trainee. Obviously, you all are sitting post-lunch. Some of them are dozing off, but rest of them are wide awake. And the attention span is much more because nothing is playing where कि मुझे ये करना है, company का काम करना है, anything of this. Ability to test ideas in low-risk environment, improve morale and motivation for self-development. Okay. Next, training approaches. हाँ भाई, इसको तो बताओ, कौन बताएगा अभी? किसका नाम? सारे जग जाओ, मैं भी नाम लेने वाला हूँ. What is the first one? Sitting by Nelly. What is this? Shalu, Rachel. Shalu, are you awake? Hello, Shalu. Priyanka. Rohit Sharma. अरे यार, ये तो लगता गुड नाइट कर गया सब. पूजा प्रसन्न.
Sir, can I try? Atul here.
Yeah.
Sitting by the Nelly is something where the training is not imparted by a skilled trainer, whereas people are left or asked just to be in the office and sit around people who are doing a certain job and pick up on their own. That's my understanding.
Your understanding is quite right. And somebody else who can add to it? How Nelly this term has come?
Learnings through doing, self-doing.
Basically, it is just a colloquial term. जैसे जो बोलते हैं ना, by Joe or something. It's a British nickname which has been used to basically explain something. Sitting by the Nelly, Nelly is doing something. You are sitting by and watching, and what is she up to, and learning. What he has explained is very rightly. You are observing, and by observations you are learning. That is what sitting by Nelly is. You, in fact, if you go to Google, you can see it very easily.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Aditya this side, sir.
Hi, Aditya.
So I would try giving by an example, sir. I may not be correct this time.
Again, I don't say I may not be correct. Everyone is correct. So don't, but don't know that not very sure or anything.
Sure, sir. So, sir, what exactly we do? I am into the training wherein we trained REs who talk over a phone with the customers, and then the sales are getting done. So, what exactly we do? We make people sit with the tenure. Let's say somebody who joined newly in the batch or has been moved to the production flow. We ask our tenured people a newer one and make him trained first by listening or by hijacking the calls, by live barging the calls, and then giving the feedback what went well and what went wrong. So basically, by this phenomena of sitting by Nelly is somewhere referred to do the buddy up sessions with the newcomers, and then training them by giving the examples.
Absolutely okay in terms of, don't get very by these grandiose terms. These are the terms which have come from Britishers. They are being used. Nelly is a nickname which is utilized by sitting by Nelly, you are learning. Now, is the advantage of it is that by watching others, you are learning. But there are certain disadvantage of this also, because there are some, Nelly may have some bad traits which may also be learned by the newly inducted people. So it is isolated. Sitting by Nelly means you are sitting with him and watching what he's doing, how he's handling. Like जो shopkeepers होते हैं, they train their sons or daughters when they join when they become in adulthood, they make them sit in their shop and deal with the customers. That is sitting by Nelly. But at the same time, the father may be indulging in malpractices of improving his businesses. Those unethical practices may also be learned. Some of them may remain very ethical, but there are some bad habits also may get passed on to the next trainee. That is the disadvantage of sitting by Nelly also. Otherwise, most of it is basically by observation, and sitting and observation, and by which you learn new habits. Okay, educational, self-explanatory, anything to be told? Problem center, self-explanatory, anyone who wants to elaborate on it, most welcome to do that. Would anyone like to say anything on this? They are all self-explanatory. हाँ भाई, Anupama Sharma. Anupama, what is educational? All right, problem-centered, what is it? What is problem-centered training? Somebody else?
So Prerna this side.
Hi,
So in problem center, like we can put a person in that situation and train him how we can handle that. For example, like any kind of technology has been introduced in the organization.
Yeah.
Like in our time, we introduced tabs. So how to we can give training how to use that.
Okay.
So there is a problem training the executive for how to use that so that they can be more technological feasible.
And it can also be done by some kind of multiple people sitting together, a common platform? No. It is individually taught, or it can also be by you just
So,
project. Okay.
uh, so you are not audible. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Basically, is it individual centric, or it is multiple people can also be
So
in?
it was individual centric. Like in our organization, we replaced older technology with a newer technology. For that, employees were trained how to use that thing. So
Okay.
we felt that we should be move towards more technological friendly devices.
Okay.
So in that, the problem arises that we need to improve our productivity by improving the technology, and we did that, and for that the training was given to them to use
Okay.
that product.
Okay. Okay. And
That's
what is anyone who wants to add something to it? Anyone?
The problem centric could be because I am in the process of training the sales executives. So sometimes the customers also come in and they ask few questions. So as we have seen the different methods also, so we use the role plays at what different questions and things the customers may ask. So considering that things, we give the training specifically considering the problems which may be arises by the customers or by the stakeholders.
Okay. Perfect. Quite clear thing. Action learning. What is action learning then? Action learning, system, analytical. Okay, I'll start tasking now. Anant Chaudhary, what is action learning? Anant. Now mic is coming.
Yeah. So I think action learning is something like where you learn by doing things.
Okay. About? Anyone else who wants to help Anant?
You can try, sir, Atul.
Atul.
I guess action learning is a certain training where the people are divided into smaller groups and are asked to focus on, I mean, given a task to do. I think they do some bit of a hit and trial as well to find out, learn from their own mistakes, and I think I only know.
Perfect. Everything is right.
Yes, right. So these people, but they are definitely supervised on to see that how they are exactly doing it. So just in case if they come across something, they are supposed to collectively they come across a problem, they collectively, try to find a possible solution for that. And that's how they
Actually,
learn.
the term itself is so, this thing, you act. When you act, you learn.
Yeah.
So,
learning by doing.
Learning by doing. It is action learning. When you you fiddle with that equipment, you learn about it. And
Yeah, like our computer goes bad and we just try to find out whatever possible that we can do, whether or not we are the subject matter expert.
you make a trainee do it. When he does it, he learns. If he doesn't do it, obviously he won't learn. Now, what is the system? What is the system?
I read
Systems
about it.
approach.
So system approach training could be when there would be a proper function which has to be performed systematically, and means one person will perform the task, then only the second process will be taking place. So we tell them the kind of a system which they have to follow to perform a particular task.
Systems approach is based on generalization, that everything, whatever, basically everything is interrelated and interdependent. A system is composed of related and dependent elements which when interacting forms are unitary as a whole. So जैसे how do I explain?
Can I say something here, sir?
Yeah.
So sometimes what happened that any new policy which brought into company, And if company wants to educate or train all the employees on that, so they make a part of system. So just to give you one example, in my organization, they put that is as a form of JPEG, as a screen shaver, basically in computers, or when anybody opens his system or her system, that one pager will come as a first thing. So employee has to look at it, spend some time, and over the period of time, maybe within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, everybody is aware about that. So anything which they want to impart as a new thing to the employees, they make it a part of system which is already exists.
Okay, basically. Okay, somebody else was speaking.
So Manali, this side, I just want to add like system training approaches could be what I have learned in the operations. So for a particular task, for example, IKEA is there, which is into the furnitures. So there is a proper system, and there is a proper approach for that, and the training has been given that first they have to nail it, they have to make it tight, and the whole furniture will be made. So related to which they also helps in division of labor and division of work. So there is a proper system which is interlinked, and through according to that the training has been given.
Basically, systems approach is one most important characteristics, that is, it is composed of hierarchy of subsystems, and that is the part of the form of the major. How do I explain? I'll give you a more simple example. I'll give. Okay,
Sir, can I add one thing?
Okay. Bolo.
SOP or standard operating procedure for doing something could be one of the good example that we set across the certain subsystems to be followed to do certain activity.
Certain activity. It's a larger whole ke liye, in some small activities have to be conducted. That is basically systems approach.
Right,
and what is analytical? ये तो बड़े normal terms हैं, they are not very grandiose terms also. What is analytical? इतने लोग बैठे हो यार, कुछ तो बोलो.
Sir,
Analyzing the pros and cons, analyzing the different perspectives, seeing things from different angles, and then coming up with the best possible solution.
हाँ, आगे बोलो और कोई?
Sir, analysis can be also done with the data understanding, because there are lots of data which is there in the system, and lots of analysis can be done with all that statistical.
Basically, it is the analytical approach is to use the analysis to break the problem into small element necessary to solve it. And basically, analyzing it based on the experience and competence. चलो, okay, इससे connected competences आ गया. Competences क्या? ये these are basically approaches of training. Competences. What is competences? अरे यार, सन्नाटा हो गया.
Required level of KSA, sir, knowledge, skill, and
sir,
हाँ, सब से they are
competence,
based on different capabilities.
हाँ, बिल्कुल सर.
different capabilities, and people decide their own taste to do about
मैं
the.
जानबूझ के इसलिए पूछता रहता हूँ, वरना सारे सन्नाटे में सो जाएंगे लंच करके.
सर सुबह से जगे हैं सर.
सारा रात को कौन जगता है? दिन में जगते हैं लोग.
अरे सर सब जग रहे हैं, पेंडेमिक में सब जग रहे हैं.
अच्छा, चलो ठीक है. Okay, experiential learning methods. These are the methods. Basically activity, reflection, conceptualization, application. इसका हम एक ही चीज बताएंगे. Activity watching. What happens? ये है car driving. First, when you are sitting in the car, you watch how a man drives. First, and to start with, I would like to tell everyone, don't try to teach your wife. You'll never be able to teach her. Let her learn from the driving school. And
very true, sir.
This is not. Because वो लड़ाई हो जाएगी तो कार चलाना मत सिखाना.
Sir, I have an experience of that.
Rightly said, sir.
Okay.
Very rightly said.
Now, basically, why it played in my mind when I was driving one day, I was watching my wife trying to see कि हम पैर कहाँ दबा रहे हैं, clutch कहाँ दबा रहे हैं और gear कैसे बदल रहे हैं. Then I realized कि why is she watching? Then I realized that I wouldn't be able to teach her. She had to learn from this from the training school only. I am giving an example is that first you watch an activity, like simple activity of car driving. You watch how it is driven. Somebody is holding the steering, चाबी से start की, clutch दबाया, gear लगाया, change किया, चलाया. Thereafter you reflect, you analyze it. There is a sequence of doing things. Clutch dabane ke baad he changes the gear, before that he doesn't. So basically you are reflecting on it. Then you have made an image how whole system works. That is the conceptualization. And thereafter you apply it when you sit on the driving seat. And then when you are, that is the application. And when you start driving, then the errors are found and then you correct them. Then those correction again becomes an activity. Then again, when you have made a correction, that's an activity, and then you again reflect on it. So it's a cycle, which is experiential learning method, which is utilized for learning. Is this explanation a little logical or no? Okay.
Yes, right.
Very effective.
Logic.
And obviously, when you start learning this driving, to gradually, based on experience, your skills also keep improving. You improve in terms of based on experience, your speed and your reactions to various situations on the road. So it's a complete cycle which continues that is called the experience learning method. And in this, whatever we were talking of, that outbound training, management, games, team building activities, all this is facets of the same. Anything in this you want to know? Otherwise, we'll proceed. Filmmaking. Filmmaking is also there. Okay, overview, experiential learning. This is just an overview. It is the same thing. Sensitivity we have already talked of, so we will not talk of it. Just read this slide. Somebody read out in case you can.
Sensitive training refers to one of the organization's development techniques, which through counseling methods work for increasing employees' well-being, self-awareness, and the individual's own prejudice and sensitivity to others. Members of different gender, culture, and abilities are brought together in a free and an open environment in which participants discuss different issues.
I just want to highlight, it is not only gender, it is culture, abilities, everything.
Yeah.
So it encompasses not only gender sensitivity, but various other facets. Okay.
Yeah, in almost all the big companies, there are these trainings there for everyone.
Now they have started. Yes. After that Nirbhaya case, thereafter, and there were some cases where there was some misbehavior and things like. आजकल जो bloody film industry में जो Me Too movement is on, because of that only.
In our company, I have been seeing it for over 14 years. They existed even before.
Just one question: can we call code of conduct and all those trainings as well as sensitivity?
Yes.
Basically, it is the formulating the environment of a workplace, and in that these people have to be made sensitive and for their social conduct. That is what the training is all about. It is not only about the gender biases, it is also about various other biases in terms of conduct. Okay.
Sir, now a small intervention.
Yeah.
Before participants, before they log out, they will have to fill a form, feedback form for today's class, so that we can try to improve and send it to basically consolidate and send it to ISTD so that they can work on improvement of the training program.
तो मैं दे सकता हूँ कि भाई शक्ल दिखाई देनी चाहिए.
So to fill the form, I am giving the link on chat. So you can just go there and fill the form there. Before you log out, you are kindly required to fill the form or feedback form.
Varma sir, there are 2 links. So both 2 links we have to fill?
Both are same.
Both are same, no?
Both are same.
All right.
Just to correct that again, I hand.
Okay, sensitivity training then. Quickly, I'll flash the slide so that you can, the time is over as it is. Just go through them, that's all I can say. I would love to hold a class where people are sitting in front of me and then interactive. I only pray to God that the vaccine comes earlier the better.
Yeah, I would love the same.
This is an exercise which is very painful, I would call it. Okay, yeah, just go through them all. That's all I can say. Anything else anyone wants to ask me or anything? I don't know whether it is.
If I can get this presentation, it will be great.
Okay, then it is not a problem. It is already, I think, available with Mr. Verma. You can
Okay, I
ask,
will check with him.
it will, because he is recording everything, it will go. Otherwise, this presentation, where do I?
I think record of this will be giving to ISTD. We will be giving a link basically at appropriate places. As far as the presentation,
Sure, sir, I will do that.
I will request
All the best, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me? In fact,
all faculty members to
I want to tell you.
Yes, sir.
I want